What's up, people? Mike, back at Bird's Eye Bourbon. Had to go grab a fresh Glen. Sacktown Whiskey. Those guys I follow on the Facial Book and Instagram. I don't know if they're on TikTok or not. I left TikTok about 6-7 months ago. I just couldn't maintain 2 platforms. I don't have enough discretionary time. What's the purpose of this video? Oh, what am I putting in that Glencairn? It's a Bullet Bottled in Bond, courtesy of my buddy, Frank, aka Boricua Bourbon Cigar Journey. You'll find him on Instagram for sure. He's also on YouTube, but I don't know if he posts any content. I do not believe so. Get this poured up, start the conversation. What's the purpose of the video? Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I posting videos on YouTube? Man, so the ink on this sample bottle's coming off. Let me move this over here, out of the way. But yeah, it's a Bullet Bottled in Bond, which I've been interested to try. I'm glad I got a sample. So if I like it, I can go buy a bottle. Even though I don't really need one at this point. We'll get to that in a minute. So I've been on kind of a buying rampage the last year. I think I've acquired about, I'm not bragging by the way, so I'm just sharing information with you. This isn't a flex, or that's what the kids call it, right? A flex, no. I'm just sharing with you the extent of my activity the last year. I think I acquired, last count, now this is plus or minus 10 bottles because I didn't do a very accurate count of my bottle inventory, but about 237 bottles I bought over the last year. That's stupid. That's dumb. You know, I'm not a rich guy. I do okay. I'm very blessed, very grateful for everything in my life. But first and foremost, family, wife, parents, brother, aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, nieces, great-nephews, friends, non-friends, military service members, first responders. I'm grateful for all those folks, first and foremost. Material items come and go. Yeah, I could be on the street tomorrow, but all those other things, all those other people in my life, they're not going anywhere. So I'm grateful for those things first. My microphone's on. And all praise to God. Yes, I believe in God. Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. I don't want to get religious here because I know maybe some folks don't appreciate that, but I don't really care. But yeah, I give all praise and thanks to God. I was born in the South. Yeah, I was born in Alabama. We'll start with a little bio. How about that? Is that okay? So I was born in Alabama. My mom is an immigrant. She's from the Philippines. And she's a nurse. What else would she be? Yeah, of course she's a nurse. So when she applied to come to this country, they told her, well, we'll approve the visa, but you're going to Alabama. This sounds like a bad Aziz Ansari joke, and it kind of is. And she said, Alabama? What part of California is that in? I said, no, sweetheart. Go check a map. Anyway, so she goes to Alabama. She meets my dad. Here I am. Got a brother, younger brother. He's in Portland right now. Love that dude. If you're watching, bro, I love you. Yeah, so when I was 12 years old, my mom convinced my redneck daddy to move to California. Talk about a culture shock. I'm 12 years old at the time. It's like, shit, we going to where? You know? So, yeah, it was a big adjustment for me. And, of course, the rest of the family. My brother was probably too young to remember. He might have been, he might have been 6 years old at the time. But we adjusted, lived there for quite a while. I lived in San Francisco most of my life. Bought a place in Fremont, California, which is in the East Bay. I eventually sold that place, moved to North Carolina. I was in Charlotte for a year. Then my wife got homesick. She said, you better get me back to the West Coast or we're gonna get divorced. And I said, copy that. So I applied to come back to my old job. They didn't respond right away, so I got a job in Portland. We were there 5 months. Then my old employer called me up, say, hey, we're ready for you now. I was like, shit, where were you 5 months ago? Anyway, so you know, we moved on back to California. Unfortunately, we got priced out of the Bay Area. We had to buy a place just outside, but that's okay. I'm very grateful for my house, where I live, and my lifestyle. Anyway, enough of that. Most of my life, I've been into fitness, lifting really heavy for a long time, and I've got the injuries to prove it. I've had 5 knee surgeries, I've had a shoulder surgery, a hip surgery. There's a lot of wear and tear on my joints. They've basically been ground into fucking crack dust, excuse my language. But as I've gotten older, I realized that, you know, tension on the muscle, that's where it's at. You know, you don't have to destroy your body to get a good workout in. So mainly at this point, I'm 50 years old, I'm just trying to maintain my physique a little bit, not turn into a fat pile of shit. No offense to anybody who's overweight. I've been obese, really obese twice in my life. So I know what it's like. I got fat boy genes. So cheers. Ooh, the nose on that is very pleasant. It's a little youthful though. But smells like bourbon. That's a mixer. Anyway, on with the bio. So, do you all know who Jeremy Sires is? He's on YouTube here. He's got a lot of subscribers, and his content is great. His channel is basically a man's guide. Right? He smokes cigars, he drinks whiskey, he smokes meats. I know some of y'all are into that, right? And I really enjoy his content. He was talking about how to build a whiskey collection. And that kind of inspired me to start collecting. I'd pretty much been drinking Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, you know, and going into Bevmo and grabbing whatever looked interesting. I hadn't really explored the world of whiskey. So I watched the video, went out and bought all the bottles he suggested. I was like, oh, this is great. And then I've always kind of fantasized about starting a YouTube channel, but I always thought it'd be like fitness-based, but I didn't think I was really good enough to offer an opinion about it. That's me talking. Now, some people might disagree. All my subscribers, I appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I look at my returning viewer count, and it's like 3,000 return viewers on my content. So if you do me a favor, man, hit the subscribe button and help me out. I appreciate it. Especially if you live in the South, man. I plan to retire there, maybe South Carolina, go back home. Still about 10 years away, potentially. We'll see. My employer may have different plans for me. We'll see next year. I want to like that. I want to like it. I can't touch it because it's got ink all over it, but I want to like it. And it's okay, but I can name a million other bottle and bond products that are better than that. So I always fantasized about starting a YouTube channel, but I didn't think anyone would watch it. I didn't think anyone would care about what I have to say. But I said, screw it. I'm going to do it. And if people engage, cool. If they don't, that's cool too. I know creators here who have a low subscriber count, but they're very determined to put out content, and they don't care who watches it. And I respect those people the most. More than the people who have 100,000 subscribers, 700,000, whatever, 7,000, because they're doing it for the love of the community and the culture. And that's why I'm here. You know, if I can quote, and I've done this before, if I can quote Mark Carter, I didn't start this to make money. I started this to make friends. So I consider all of y'all friends. And if you ever see me in the street or at a bottle share, we haven't met, please come up and introduce yourself. I'm very much not a people person. If you go by my history, I'm an introvert. Yeah. I was always the guy sitting in the corner by himself at parties, you know, kind of awkward. And I'm still that way. But just like anything else, social skills are learned. Just like language, math, right? How to pick up weights, how to evaluate whiskey. It's a learned skill. You got to practice. So that was another thing, is I wanted to develop myself, even at an old age. Well, not old. I guess 50's not technically old. But that's why I started doing this. So I wanted to let y'all know why I'm here, why I'm doing it. That's it. I don't make any money doing this, by the way. I think I make $150 a month on my content. That's nothing. I mean, again, I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for y'all watching. But, you know, I'm not making any money doing this. So I'm doing it because I'm enjoying whiskey. I'm enjoying the journey, and I'm enjoying meeting people. It's about people. And I know it's cliche and trite. It's hackneyed to say it's not about, what is it? I think it's Jason C's line on Mash and Drum. Love that guy, by the way. He's my favorite whiskey tuber, Jason C. Mash and Drum. It's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share it with. And it's true. And I met a lot of great people. You know, folks I would never have met otherwise had I not started doing this. Yes, I'm married to a woman. I know some of you are wondering. Yeah, I'm married to a woman. We've been married now, get this right, 22 years. She's my childhood sweetheart. You know, we went to high school together. We split up for a while. I was a villain for a little bit, but I wouldn't trade her for anybody on the planet, man. She's been really good to me. She's put up with a lot of bullshit. But I had to pause there for a minute, getting a little bit emotional. But yeah, she's put up with a lot. I used to be a handful. Used to be not a very nice person until, you know, I did a little bit of introspection, self-evaluation. I didn't want to live like that anymore. I didn't want to be that guy. So I hope this gives you a little insight into who I am and why I'm doing this. In addition, I plan to continue this. Even if everybody unsubscribes, please don't do that. And no one watches the videos, because I figure there's one person out there who used to be like I was, who's lonely, awkward, introverted. I'm still an introvert, by the way, who might see one of my videos and feel some comfort or learn something. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm here. That's who I am. Drop a comment, question down below. I get to all of them. If you notice, I respond to every single comment, right? Good or bad. I don't delete any comments. Yeah, so it's a free country. Right. I believe in the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. Most of the amendments. See y'all next time. Cheers.